My beloved child, there is something different about the silence surrounding your name right now. And if you listen carefully, you will understand why this moment matters more than you may realize. Someone you love has been standing in a place of emotion, reflection, and uncertainty. And near that person are two voices, two different minds, two different opinions, two people who see you in completely different ways. One speaks with confidence, while the other speaks with caution, and what they are saying has created a tension that has not yet reached your ears, but it is already shaping what happens next. Do not skip, because something huge is waiting for you, and every second of this matters more than it first seems. There are conversations happening while you are absent. And what makes this unusual is that your name enters those conversations with unexpected importance. It is not casual. It is not light. It is spoken carefully, almost as if every word must be weighed before it is spoken. One of those friends believes there is something rare about you, something hard to explain, but impossible to ignore. That person notices details others fail to see. The way you carry quiet strength. The way you keep moving forward, even after disappointment. The way your presence leaves questions in people long after you have gone. But the other friend does not speak in the same manner. The second voice carries concern, not because they dislike you, but because they fear what your presence could awaken. They believe closeness to you changes things too quickly. They think emotions become deeper than expected. They think decisions become harder once your name fully enters the heart. And that is why the discussion has become intense, because these are not shallow thoughts. These are powerful opinions built from observation, from memory, from moments you may not even know were noticed. Stay till the end, because something hidden is slowly coming into view. What makes this even more powerful is that the person you love has not interrupted either voice. They have listened to both. Every sentence has landed deeply. Every opinion has opened another question inside them. They are hearing admiration from one side and hesitation from the other. And somewhere between those two voices, they are trying to understand what they truly feel. There was a moment recently when your name appeared unexpectedly and the energy changed immediately. The room no longer felt ordinary. A pause happened. A look was exchanged. One friend leaned forward and said that your heart is much deeper than most people realize, that you carry things quietly, that your silence often says more than words. The other replied that depth can be difficult because not everyone knows how to handle someone who carries so much feeling without speaking all of it aloud. And still your name remained at the center. Do not skip, because the next part is where the truth becomes even clearer. The person you love remembers moments connected to you that they have never fully explained to anyone. A small sentence you once said, a look that lasted longer than expected, a moment when you seemed ordinary to everyone else but unforgettable to them. These memories returned while those two friends were speaking, and that is why their opinions suddenly felt heavier than before. One friend believes your presence means safety. The other believes your presence means change. One says you are someone who stays genuine even when misunderstood. The other says people like you are difficult to forget, and that forgetting creates complications no one prepares for. And while they spoke, the person you love became quieter, because hidden inside their silence was one thought they did not say aloud. Why does your name still affect everything? Something huge is waiting for you, because this is not where the conversation ended. There is another reason those opinions became so strong. Recently, something shifted in how they see you. A small detail revealed more than expected. Perhaps it was your patience. Perhaps it was your distance. Perhaps it was the way you did not chase attention when others would have tried harder. Whatever it was, it made both friends notice that your value is not loud. It is discovered slowly. And once discovered, it becomes difficult to ignore. That is why one friend became firm and said that losing connection with you would be a mistake. The other answered carefully and said that closeness to you may bring emotions that cannot easily be controlled. Do you understand how rare that is? Two people, both serious, both watching the same person, both arriving at powerful conclusions, but from completely different directions. Stay till the end because something deeper is still unfolding. The person you love has now started comparing every opinion they hear with what they personally know about you. And here is what they cannot deny. Every time they try to place you in an ordinary category, something stops them. Something about you refuses to become simple in their mind. There is mystery around your timing, mystery around your silence, mystery around the way certain things about you become clearer only after distance. That is why these two friends continue returning to the subject. One believes you are being misunderstood by many people who only see the surface. The other believes that anyone who gets close enough will eventually realize your emotional impact is stronger than expected. And now, because of these two opinions, the person you love is looking again at moments they almost dismissed before. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because one sentence changed everything. During that conversation, one friend quietly asked, "If this person means so little, then why do you become silent every time their name appears?" No answer came immediately. That silence itself became the answer everyone noticed. And suddenly the discussion was no longer about opinions alone. It became about a truth that had been hidden beneath hesitation. The person you love looked away, but inside, memories were already speaking louder than the words around them. Certain moments returned. Certain feelings became impossible to deny. And now, both friends know there is more inside that heart than has ever been admitted openly. This is why your name has not left that space. This is why the opinions have become stronger. And this is why the next moment may surprise more than anyone expects. Because sometimes, two different voices do not create confusion. They reveal what someone was trying hardest not to admit. Stay ready, because what follows after this silence may carry more meaning than anything said before. But listen carefully, because what happened after that silence was even more revealing than the conversation itself. The person you love did not immediately defend you, did not immediately explain you, and did not change the subject the way people often do when something means nothing. Instead, there was a pause that lasted longer than expected. And in that pause, both friends understood they had touched something real, something deeper than ordinary curiosity, something that had been sitting quietly inside the heart for much longer than anyone admitted. Do not skip because something huge is waiting for you. One of those friends leaned closer and spoke with unusual confidence, saying that your presence carries a kind of memory that does not disappear easily. They explained that even when days pass and many distractions appear, certain people remain impossible to place aside, and somehow your name keeps returning in moments when no one expects it. The person you love heard that sentence and became even more still because it matched something already hidden inside. The second friend responded differently. That voice said, "Your quiet nature makes people underestimate how deeply you affect situations." According to that opinion, you do not always speak loudly, yet your absence becomes noticeable the moment you are not there. And that is what has created such powerful thoughts around you. Not what you force people to feel, but what remains when you say very little. Stay till the end, because the next detail changed the atmosphere completely. A memory surfaced during that discussion. One small moment connected to you that neither friend had forgotten. It may have seemed ordinary when it happened, but now it returned with surprising strength. A sentence you once said with calm honesty. A reaction you gave without trying to impress anyone. A moment when your sincerity appeared so naturally that it remained in the minds of those who witnessed it. Suddenly, that old memory became proof in the conversation, proof that there is more to you than most people realize, understand right away. And this is where the opinions became even stronger. One friend said, "Your heart seems faithful even when life becomes uncertain." The other said, "Loyalty like that can create deep attachment, because people rarely experience it and do not always know how to react when they do. The person you love listened to both opinions, but something important happened. Instead of pushing those words away, they quietly started agreeing with parts they had never spoken aloud. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because after that, your name was spoken once again, but this time with emotion. There was no laughter, no distraction, only seriousness. One friend asked whether they had noticed how differently they speak when talking about you compared to everyone else. That question landed deeply because the answer could not be avoided. Even simple things about you receive unusual attention. Small details become unforgettable. Ordinary moments become meaningful later. And this is exactly why the two friends now hold such strong opinions. They have seen how your name changes the atmosphere around the person you love. One believes this connection should be understood before it is ignored. The other believes ignoring it may already be impossible. And the person you love now knows both voices may be seeing pieces of truth from different sides. Stay till the end because something hidden is beginning to rise. There is also something you may not know. Recently, someone mentioned you unexpectedly during another moment, and once again the reaction was immediate. No preparation, no warning. Yet your name created that same pause again. The kind of pause people cannot pretend. That pause revealed more than words could explain. Because when someone means little, the heart remains ordinary. But when someone means more, silence becomes noticeable. That silence happened once again, and both friends noticed it immediately. Now they are watching carefully because they understand that something about you continues reaching places that logic alone cannot fully explain. One friend says this means your importance is growing. The other says, this means emotions are already further along than anyone wants to admit. Do not skip because something huge is waiting for you. The strongest moment came when one of those friends quietly asked, if there is nothing special here, then why does your expression change every time the future is mentioned with that person? No quick answer came, only thought, only reflection, only that same silence that keeps revealing more than words. And in that silence, memories returned again. Moments where your kindness stood out, moments where your patience became visible, moments where your absence felt longer than expected. This is why the opinions remain strong. This is why your name carries weight. And this is why the person you love has begun questioning what they were trying so hard to keep simple. Because sometimes two outside voices do not create confusion. They reveal what the heart has already been whispering quietly for a long time. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The conversation has not truly ended. In fact, it has only made everything more intense. Because now, every new moment involving you is being noticed more carefully than before. Every small sign matters. Every tone matters. Every unexpected memory matters. And the most surprising part is this. One of those friends now believes a moment is coming when everything hidden will become difficult to keep hidden any longer. Not because someone forces it, but because truth eventually becomes stronger than hesitation. And when that moment arrives, the person you love may finally understand why two different opinions about you have both remained impossible to ignore. And now something even more unexpected is happening, because those two strong opinions have started influencing the way your name is heard in moments when you are not present. The person you love is no longer hearing your name as something ordinary. Every mention now carries meaning, as if each word connected to you arrives with a hidden message waiting to be understood. Do not skip, because something huge is waiting for you. One of those friends recently returned to the subject again, even when no one planned to talk about it. That alone was unusual. Out of many topics, your name came back naturally, almost as if unfinished thoughts refused to remain silent. The first friend spoke with confidence and said, there is something rare about people who leave calm behind them, even after they leave a room. And according to that voice, you do exactly that. Your presence does not end when you walk away. It lingers. It stays in memory longer than expected. The second friend answered more carefully, saying that what makes you different is not only what you show, but what people slowly discover later. According to that view, your strongest qualities are often unseen at first, and that is why opinions about you become stronger over time instead of weaker. The person you love listened again, but this time there was no attempt to change the subject. No interruption, only attention. Stay till the end, because the next part reveals why this conversation has become impossible to forget. A very small moment was mentioned, something almost forgotten until now. It was a time when you reacted with sincerity, while everyone else expected something different. That moment looked simple then, but now both friends see it as important proof. One said that moment proved your heart speaks honestly, even when you do not explain much. The other said, honesty like that creates trust without asking for attention. And suddenly, your image became stronger in the conversation than ever before. The person you love remembered that same moment immediately. That memory arrived so clearly that silence returned again. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because after that silence, one friend asked a question that changed everything. Why does every conversation about this person become deeper than expected? No answer came quickly. Because some answers cannot be given without revealing too much. The person you love looked thoughtful, almost as if trying to protect something private. While both friends continued watching carefully, they already understood that your name had crossed into a place where emotions cannot easily pretend to be neutral anymore. One friend believes you represent peace that is difficult to find. The other believes that peace can become unforgettable once someone truly feels it. And both opinions now sit inside the same heart, creating thoughts that grow stronger every day. Stay till the end, because something hidden is beginning to move. There was another surprising detail. Recently, when someone else spoke positively about you, the reaction was immediate again. Not dramatic, not loud, but unmistakable. Attention sharpened, listening became deeper. Even a small compliment connected to you suddenly mattered more than expected. That is when one friend quietly smiled and said that reactions never lie. Those words stayed in the air because reactions reveal what words often try to hide. The person you love heard that and became quieter than before, knowing that even silence had now become noticeable evidence. Do not skip because something huge is waiting for you. The first friend then said something powerful. Some people enter life gently, but later become impossible to replace in thought. That sentence was directed toward you, even without directly saying so. The second friend added that certain names begin softly, but eventually hold emotional weight that surprises everyone. And once again, your name remained at the center. The person you love did not deny any of it. Instead, there was a long pause, followed by a small breath. The kind people take when truth feels very close. Stay till the end, because this is where everything becomes more intense. The reason those two opinions continue growing is simple. Every new memory connected to you confirms something they already suspect. Your kindness is remembered. Your patience is remembered. Even moments where you said very little are remembered with unusual clarity. And now, one of those friends believes a future conversation is coming. One where your name will no longer be discussed only as an idea, but as someone whose place has become too meaningful to ignore. That thought has already begun changing how the person you love looks at everything connected to you. Because once two outside voices point toward the same truth from different directions, it becomes harder to pretend nothing important is happening. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The most surprising part is that one friend no longer speaks with doubt at all. That voice has become certain that whatever is growing around your name is not temporary. The second friend still speaks carefully, But even caution now carries quiet respect. And somewhere between confidence and caution, the person you love is starting to realize that your presence has already left a deeper impression than anyone expected. That is why silence keeps returning. That is why your name keeps appearing again. And that is why the next moment may carry the answer everyone has been moving around without fully speaking aloud. Then a moment arrived that nobody expected because the conversation about you returned once again. But this time, it carried a completely different feeling. Quieter on the outside, yet much deeper underneath. It was no longer simply two opinions being shared. It had become something closer to a realization, as if both friends had reached a place where they could no longer ignore what your name continues to awaken. Do not skip, because something huge is waiting for you. One of those friends began by saying that some people are mentioned often because they are loud, but others are discussed because their presence keeps creating questions long after they have gone. And according to that voice, you belong to the second type. You are not remembered because of noise. You are remembered because certain moments around you refuse to disappear. The second friend, who had once spoken carefully, did not disagree this time. Instead, that voice admitted that every new detail connected to you somehow makes stronger what had already been noticed before. Small things become meaningful later. Quiet moments become unforgettable later. Even simple interactions seem to become larger when remembered after time has passed. The person you love listened with full attention. Stay till the end, because the next thought changed everything again. A recent memory appeared unexpectedly, one that had not been spoken about before. It was a moment where your kindness appeared naturally, without effort or planning, and both friends remembered it clearly. One said that this is exactly why opinions about you keep becoming stronger, because what you give often looks simple at first, but later reveals a depth people did not understand at the time. The other friend added that very few people carry sincerity in a way that stays believable every time they are remembered. But somehow your image keeps returning with the same feeling each time. Steady, real, and difficult to ignore. The other person simply nodded, as if even caution had nothing left to add. There was no more resistance in that moment, because your name had already reached a place where honesty was no longer something forced. It was starting to appear naturally on its own. Stay till the end, because something that was not fully clear before is now slowly becoming visible in a very real way. What makes this moment unusual is that the person you love did not sound lost or unsure while speaking. There was a calm tone in that voice, like someone who is quietly accepting something they have already been feeling for a long time, but never fully expressed out loud. The two friends understood right away that their strong opinions were not actually creating any new emotion. They were not building anything from zero. Instead, they were only pointing towards something that was already there, something that had been growing quietly in the background without needing attention. One of them feels your honesty has slowly built trust over time. The other believes your steady nature has created something deeper than just passing attention or temporary interest. And now, both of these views are standing together in the same space. They are no longer fighting against each other. They are not opposite anymore. They feel connected in a way that neither of them fully expected at the beginning. Do not skip, because something very important is being revealed in layers. There is another reason why your name has started to feel unforgettable in that space. Every time your personality is discussed, more small details keep coming up again and again. Your patience, your self-control, the way you never rush to prove yourself, the way you stay steady even when situations around you change quickly. These things might look simple when seen alone, but when they are combined, they form something much stronger than expected. Together, they create an impression that both friends are now beginning to openly admit and accept without hesitation. That is why one of them finally spoke with a kind of certainty and said, "This person is not being remembered by accident." Those words stayed in the air for a moment longer than usual, because everyone there felt the weight of what was being said. It was not just a casual comment. It was a recognition of something deeper that had already been forming for a while. The person you love did not argue against it. There was no denial, no correction, no attempt to reduce its meaning. Instead, silence returned once again, but this time it was not heavy or confused. It felt calmer, more settled, almost like a quiet acceptance rather than uncertainty. Stay till the end because something very significant is building underneath all of this. At that moment, a new thought started to enter that heart slowly, without pressure. If your name continues to carry this much meaning in their mind, then maybe the future is not something that can stay far away forever. Maybe the reason these two strong opinions formed around you is because your presence has already become something that cannot be ignored anymore. It is no longer small enough to stay in the background. It has started to feel important enough to naturally pull attention back again and again. One of the friends now quietly believes that a direct moment may be coming closer. A moment where feelings, thoughts, and hidden understanding will no longer stay behind silence or pauses. They feel that at some point, things may reach a point where everything has to be seen clearly instead of being held back. The other friend believes something slightly different. They think that when that moment arrives, it will not feel sudden or forced at all. Instead, it will feel natural, almost expected, because everything leading up to it has already been building slowly, step by step, in a very honest way without pressure or rush. And the person you love, even without speaking much more, does not seem surprised by this idea anymore. There is no shock in their reaction. There is no rejection of the thought either. It is as if the mind has already started adjusting to the possibility in silence, without needing to say anything out loud. Do not skip because the direction of everything is slowly becoming clearer now. Stay till the end because something very meaningful is still unfolding. After all the opinions were shared, after all the pauses that followed, after all the moments that were remembered and discussed again, one simple truth is now standing more clearly than before. Your name has become part of a deeper conversation that does not seem to fade away. It keeps returning naturally, even when no one tries to bring it back. It keeps showing up in thoughts, in reflections, and in quiet discussions that happen without planning.